Pioneers. Number 1, Taylor Groves. Number 4, Preston King. Number 5, Jamal Nero. Number 12, Cannon Hale. And number 21, Maxwell Moore. Number 5, Jamal Nero. Johnny Lynn. It'll be Preston King and Brandon Lanier for tip. Jason Granger, the head referee, assisted by Rick Shoulders and Mark Pillen. It's Brandon Lanier wins tip. And A.J. Horton has it to volleyball line. Gets it to Lanier. Gets it to Ryan Neal. Gets it to Washington. It's good. Xavier Washington gets this scoring started with a 2-pointer. Groves bringing it up. Groves loses it as it's stolen by Neal. Snags a quick foul there. Horton has got it. Brings it to the volleyball line. Gives it to Zachariah Candidate. Gives it back to Lanier. Over to Neal. Neal's got Nero guarding him. He's back at the logo. He drives, kicks it to Candidate in the corner. Gets it out to Washington. Over to Horton. Horton down inside to Lanier. Has it stolen by Groves. Jamal Nero on the fast break. Gets it to Moore. Moore drives, hangs, and one. Maxwell Moore able to finish the layup and draw the foul. That'll be Brandon Lanier's first foul of the game as Maxwell Moore goes to the line to try and convert a 3-point play. Moore can't convert the 3-point play. Lane violation committed by the Cougars, and they'll put Max Moore back at the line. Can't hit. Nero grabs the offensive rebound. Groves kicks down to Moore. Moore gets the first four points for the Pioneers. And Horton will bring it up for the Cougars. Horton working on Moore. Drives. Gets it to Washington. 4-3. Short. Horton grabs the rebound. Lanier comes to the screen. He doesn't take it. Gets it for Neal. Neal working on Nero. Tough shot. Won't go. Lanier. Looks like Preston King's going to pick up his first foul. Now send Brandon Lanier to the line. Brandon Lanier's a freshman who averages 8.5 points per game. So he's at his lines for his first. He makes his first. He's ready for his second. And he goes 2 for 2 from the line. Groves working on Horton. Gets it to Nero at the top of the key. Groves got it back. He's on the wing, gets it over to Nero. Nero has got Ryan Neal right in his face. Nero gets it to King. King spins. Brandon Lanier will pick up his second foul. That'll send Preston King to the line. Preston King drains his first. King is a sophomore who averages 6.7 points per game. But his impact more comes from the defensive side as he's a big man for Volstate. He goes almost 2 for 2 from the line as Kendrick Franklin checks in for the Cougars. Horton hands it off to Candidate. Candidate drives, gets it to Horton in the corner. Over to Candidate on the baseline. Drives, goes up, cannot finish. Groves pushing it ahead. Can't finish. Miscommunication there by looked like to be Ryan Neal and Zachariah Candidate as the ball will stay with the Pioneers. Groves will inbound. Gets it to King. Is it poked away as he steps out of bounds, and it'll be Cougar ball. Ryan Neal will inbound as Edresa Njai will check in for Preston King. Horton will get the inbound from Neal and bring it up the court. He's got Maxwell Moore waiting on him. Gets it to Zachariah Candidate, hands off to Neal. A.J. Horton working on for the three. Won't go. It's going to stay down here. As Horton will inbound. Gets it to Xavier Washington. Gets it to Horton. Horton gets the screen, gets it to Neal, 4-3, won't go. Njai gets the rebound, gets it to Groves. Groves, the Moore foul, cannot convert on this layup, but he draws the contact and will go back to the line. Xavier Washington will pick up his first. Maxwell Moore, he's a freshman who averages 5.1 points per game. He buries his first. Along with Perez, Nicholas checks in for the Cougars as Maxwell Moore gets ready for his second free throw. He goes 1 for 2 from the lines as Nichols grabs the rebound. It up. Gets it to Franklin. And gets it to Horton for the three, short. Groves with the rebound, has it taken away by Nichols. But he gives it back to Horton, and then Horton's pass just goes out of bounds as it was intended for Perez Nichols. Jacob Turner. They get it to Nero. Down to Groves. His layup is good. Don't let him get hot, because once he gets hot, he starts to catch his groove, and he's hard to stop. Horton. Got more on him. Horton spins. His layup is good. They get it Groves. Groves gets it to Nero. Nero trying to find somebody. Gets it to Moore. Moore's in dangerous territory that close. Backcourt violation there on the Pioneers. Demarius Carroll checks in, and Auden Slaughter will also check in for the Pioneers. 8-6 lead for the Pioneers with 15:25 here to play in the first half. Horton gets the inbound, will bring it up. Gets it to Franklin. Franklin drives. Gets it back out to Horton on the three-point line. He's working on Moore. He has it almost stripped away. Xavier Washington, three ball, won't go. Rebound Moore. Moore gives it to Groves. Groves drives and finishes. Taylor Groves hangs on that layup and finishes. Horton brings it up. Gives it to Franklin, 4-3. His three is good. Groves gets it to Carroll. Back out to Groves. Groves gets it to Moore. Moore drives. Can't finish. Ball on the deck. Njai comes up with it for the Pioneers. He loses it. Franklin picks it up on that possession. But it is Cougar ball. Horton gets it into Kendrick Franklin. They swing it over to Xavier Washington, down to Perez Nichols, working on Groves. Nichols goes up and gets the friendly roll. And a timeout by Cleveland State. Cleveland State, 2-6 coming into this game, and 1-5 in conference play. As the Pioneers are 2-6, are overall 5-6. 2-3 in conference, 5-6 overall. The Pioneers won their last game against Christian Community College at Tennessee Valley, 96-59. Cleveland State fell to Motlow State, 78-74. The Volstate men's beat Motlow State, 81-76. Little fun fact here, Taylor Groves has not seen double-digit scoring since the November 19th game that he played. He was held scoreless in the next game and their loss to Walter State. And then he scored 8 against Community Christian College. Cannon Hill had 17 and led the scoring in that game for the Pioneers. Cannon Hill shoots 35% from the free throw line as he averages 12.3 points per game. As Maxwell Moore will inbound. As Demarius Carroll gets it. They're going to give it to Groves. He gets it to Auden Slaughter. Slaughter gets it to Njai. They get it to Groves. Groves draws the quick double team. And Maxwell Moore just bullies his man on the inside and just able to go up with it. He's got 7. Ryan Neal on the 3. Drives, crosses, gets it out to Franklin. Franklin loses the ball, and it'll go out of bounds. Dylan Delk will check in for Maxwell Moore. We get it to Groves. As soon as Groves caught that ball in that last possession, he attracted a double team. That just tells you everything that they're worried about. In Groves' first game here to open up the year, for his first home game, he had almost 50. Carroll, deep three, won't go. They're able to save it. Groves with it. Groves, deep three, Off the front of the rim. That foul's going to go against Dylan Delk. Carson Boyle will check in for the Cougars as Neal will bring it up. And he has Demarius Carroll waiting for him at half court. Neal gets it over to Turner. Turner kicks it in the corner to Boyle. Boyle drives, shoots over Delk, gets the friendly roll. Slaughter, not really a ball handler for the Pioneers, but he will get it to their guy, Taylor Groves. He's got Turner on him. Groves drives, shoots over his man. Cannot finish the shot, so he will go to the line for two. Carson Boyle's first foul. Send Taylor Grove to the line. Taylor leads the team in averaging points per game. He averages 20.9. He misses his first. It's not a rare thing you see is Taylor Grove's missing free throws. Preston King will check in. Groves at the line for two for his second one. He buries his second one, and Jamal Nero will check in for him. Neal bumps into his own teammate. Carson Boyle down there. It's stolen away by Carroll. Up ahead to Nero. He lays it in. Cougars bringing up the court. Carson Boyle loses it. Auden Slaughter will pick up his first foul. A.J. Horton will inbound for the Cougars. They get it to Jacob Turner, over to Carson Boyle. Carson Boyle's mid-range, too long. Carroll with the rebound. He brings it up, gets it to Preston King, gets it to Carroll. Carroll takes a screen by King, gets it to Slaughter. 4-3, won't go. Nichols with the rebound, gets it to Boyle. Give it to Horton. Give it to Kendrick Franklin, working on Delk. The corner, swing back out. Franklin for three. Won't go. Nero with the rebound. Get it over to King. Get it back to Jamal Nero. Nero gets it to King at the top of the key. Swing it over to Auden Slaughter. Gives it to Delk. Swing it over to Nero. Slaughter drives. Has it knocked out of bounds by Kendrick Franklin. As Xavier Washington will check in for Carson Boyle for the Cougars. The Pioneers will have 5 on the shot clock as Jamal Nero will inbound. The pass gets to Slaughter. Slaughter's going to put up a quick three. It won't go, but Jamal Nero grabs the offensive rebound. Takes the screen. Nero 4-3. Won't go. Kendrick Franklin gets the rebound off to A.J. Horton, who lost it. Volstate bench looking for a double dribble. Nichols comes, sets him a screen. Runs to the big Preston King. Gets it to Nichols. Over to Washington for three. Won't go. Slaughter with the rebound. This will be Jacob Turner who draws the foul. Egypt. Zechariah Kennedy and Egypt Daniel both check in for the Cougars as Slaughter will inbound to Nero. 15-13, 2-point lead here for the Pioneers. They get it to Dylan Delk, gets it to Preston King. King gives it to Carroll. Carroll working on Horton, drives. What a move, and Demarius Carroll lays it in for two. Horton on the logo. Gives it to Turner. Over to Egypt Daniel. Back to Horton. Horton drives. Runs into Preston King, who affected the shot. Oh, a whistle there by the ref. Almost had a steal and a breakaway for Demarius Carroll. But that'll be his first. As looks like Ryan Neal checked in for Jacob Turner for the Cleveland State Cougars. Neal gets it to Horton. Gives it to Xavier Washington. Over to Horton again. Over to Washington. He drives. Nero on the fast break is not shy of contact. He can't finish that time. Oh, Daniel almost lost it under the basket. Any shots for the Cleveland State Cougars. Neal working on Carroll. Spins. Fade away is good. Carroll lost it. Candidate drives, kicks it to Neal for three. And a whistle. That foul will go against Demarius Carroll. That'll send Ryan Neal to the line for three. He's a freshman who averages 6.8 points per game. As he makes his first. He gets a friendly roll on his second. Didn't know if that one was going to fall or not. Neal goes 3 from 3 from the line. Groves bringing it up the court, working on Neal. Groves trying to command the offense, gets it to Cannon Hill. Looked at the basket and did not take the shot. Gets it to Nero. Nero drives. Gets fouled. Marion Taylor picks up the foul. Jamal Nero hits his first. Jamal Nero is a freshman who averages 15.5 points per game. Gets ready for his second. And he goes 2 for 2 from the line. Taylor bringing it up the court. Hands it off to Zachariah Candidate, who drives down to Egypt Daniel. Get out to Marion Taylor. Into Candidate, who spins and is able to put it in over Groves. Groves gets it to Nero. Nero back out to King. Gets it to Cannon Hale, who passes a nice pass into Max Moore, who's able just to lay it in. Kennedy gets it in the corner to Xavier Washington. Over Hale, won't go. Groves with the rebound. Groves drives and is able to finish. Taylor Groves has 7, along with Maxwell Moore's 9. Xavier Washington catches it, swings it over to Neal. Neal, step back. He's going to dish it off to Washington. He drives, and Egypt Daniel grabs his miss and gets the rebound. Groves, the long pass up ahead to Moore. Last touch by Zachariah Kennedy. It'll stay with the Pioneers. Kendrick Franklin will check in for the Pioneers, as Groves will inbound. Hale for 3. Bang! Cannon Hale from downtown for 3. That's his zone, and that's where he gets hot from. And when he gets hot from there, it's dangerous. Taylor almost lost it, did lose it, almost picked up by Nero. And they're going to say he double dribbled. Raphael Howard did not like that call, as Auden Slaughter checked in for the Pioneers. They inbound to Groves. He's working on Neal, gets it to Slaughter. Slaughter gets it to King at the top of the key. King drives, gives it to Moore. Gets it back out to Groves. They got 10 on the shot clock. Groves drives. Tries to get it into King, but it goes out of bounds. And A.J. Horton and Jacob Turner check in. And then Enrissa Njai checks in for Preston King. 26-22, 5:35 here to play in the first half for Marion Taylor. Working on Slaughter. Has it stolen away by Njai. And he looked for a slam and could not finish. There's that football athleticism from Taylor Groves. A little backstory. Taylor Groves was a football prospect who went to Ole Miss out of East Robb High School, and then he switched to basketball and came here at Volstate and was freshman of the year last year. Little athleticism there. He played defensive back for the Indians. A.J. Horton will inbound. Oh, Kendrick Franklin did not get high enough up on the slam and stuffed by the rim. Up ahead to Moore, who does finish from a pass from Taylor Groves. Maybe he should have just went with the layup, tried to go for the slam, could not finish. Horton drives. He can't finish. Zachariah Kennedy and Taylor Groves will pick up Horton off the ground. Groves will be charged with the foul there. That is his second. A.J. Horton at the line. A.J. Horton's a sophomore. Leads this team with points per game with 15.8. A.J. Horton had 11 in the loss to Motlow State. So he gets in the line for his second one. He goes 1 for 2 from the line. Groves up ahead to Njai. Was looking for Cannon Hale in the corner for 3, but he could not get it there. It's like the ball just kind of slipped out of his hands. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be Cougar ball as Horton brings it up. 28-23, 4:40 to play. Horton working on Moore. Gives it to Boyle, who drives, spins, Has to dish it out to Horton. Horton spins, hangs, draws the foul. Be Maxwell Moore's first foul of the game. A.J. Horton will be going to the line for 2. He misses his first. So he gets ready for his second. He makes his second, so he goes 1 for 2 on this trip. Groves pushing it up the floor, finds Hale in the corner for 3. Won't go. An offensive rebound. There's Jacob Turner's second foul. I'll send Maxwell Moore to the line as both teams are in their 1-and-1 bonus. So if he makes this one, he'll get 1 more. Xavier Washington checks in for the Cougars. For the freshman who averages 13.1, who led them in the scoring way against Motlow State with 17. So Maxwell Moore gets ready for 2 or for 1. He makes that one, so he'll get 1 more as he makes that one. His second one rims out. Franklin almost stepped out there, but he'll get it to Horton, who brings it up. Horton swings it over to Boyle. Boyle working on Auden Slaughter. Gets it out to Xavier Washington. He's going to get to Zachary Kennedy in the corner. He's got 10. They got 10 left on the shot clock. Horton drives, can't finish. Maybe looking for a foul there. Gets it to Slaughter. Out of bounds. Had Slaughter and Hale in that corner. Tight spot to try to fit a pass in. Jamal Nero checks in for Auden Slaughter. Carson Boyle will inbound. Gets it to A.J. Horton. 29-24, Pioneers lead. Gets it to Carson Boyle. He does not take the 2 screens he has set. He's going to put up a tough shot, blocked by Njai. As now Nero on the fast break. Swings over to Cannon Hale for 3. Oh, it does not roll in. A.J. Horton. Swings over to Zachary Candidate. Down into Donovan Davis, but his pass will go out of bounds. As Ryan Neal will check in for Zachary Candidate. 2:54 here to play in half number 1. Dylan Delk will check in for the Pioneers. And now Delk will inbound. Get it into Hale. Gets it to Groves, who's got Neal picking him up in the backcourt. Gets it to Delk. Delk down to into Groves. His fadeaway won't go. Dylan Delk almost had a putback slam, but was unable to finish it. Horton to Boyle for 3. Won't go. Groves with the rebound. Gets a screen by Njai. Foul will be called. Njai will pick up an offensive foul. Preston King checks in. That was Njai's first foul. Ryan Neal will Inbound to A.J. Horton. Neal brings it into the paint, looking for Egypt Daniel behind him, but his pass goes out of bounds. Be Pioneer ball. Get it into Groves. Groves bringing up the court for the Pioneers. Get it to Jamal Nero. Gets it to King at the top of the key. He's looking for Hale. He's gonna find it. He's gonna get it to Nero. 10 left to go on the shot clock. Nero with 5. Deep three. Won't go. Neal with the rebound. Gives it to Horton. Over to Egypt Daniel. Back to Horton. Over to Neal. Neal step back. Gets it to Daniel for a deep three. Way off. Gets it back to Horton. Back out to Neal for 3. Won't go. Egypt Daniel with an offensive rebound. His shot won't go. It's going to stay down with Cleveland State. Egypt Daniel was a big reason that possession stayed down here as he kept fighting for rebounds as Jamal Nero gets checked in for by Auden Slaughter. A.J. Horton inbounds to Xavier Washington, who has it almost stolen away by Delk. Gets it to Ryan Neal. Neal drives. Almost lost his dribble. Goes up. Delk with the rebound. Gets it ahead of Groves. Groves finds Hale. 4-3. Won't go. Franklin gives it to Neal. Back to Franklin. Working on King. Goes up. Won't go. Slaughter knocks into the hands of Horton, whose step-in 3 is no good. Egypt Daniel will pick up his first foul. Perez Nichols and Jacob Turner both check in for Cleveland State. Jamal Nero checks in, and Taylor Groves for 1-1. Makes his first. Gets ready for his second on his 1-1 trip. He misses. Preston King with their offensive rebound. Finds Slaughter. 4-3. Won't go. Preston King with another offensive rebound. And he keeps it alive for the Pioneers. Now Jamal Nero has it. Gets it to King. Over to Groves. About 5 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. Right here ahead at halftime. 30-24. Groves behind the back. Tough shot. Won't go. Rebound from Turner up into Washington for 3. Won't go. 30-24. Volstate Pioneers lead. We will head to a commercial break as you're here listening on the Volstate Sports Network.
are locked into 5. Y'all stick around because we get to chat with Volstate student Madeline, who is a part of the Student Government Association. But first, let's see what the girls are up to around campus. You ready? Let's go.
Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Rox, and this is the student segment of 5. And today we're asking, what do you want for Christmas?
For Christmas, I would like a My Chemical Romance vinyl.
I definitely want Morgan Wallen tickets, or if another person goes on tour, Youngblood tickets.
I want a trip to Europe.
I want to take a trip to Nevada for a once-in-a-lifetime.
Mad Villainy by MF Doom and Mad Villain.
What I want for Christmas is some money to get to New Mexico because I am planning on moving to New Mexico for New Mexico State University. They have a really nice museum conservation program.
Medium level piano player book.
A copy of Andy Weir's The Hail Mary Project, because the movie's coming out next year, and I want to read the book before the movie comes out.
Really, all I want for Christmas is to go back home to Missouri. My grandmother's grave is there, and my best friend, and every year he gets to just throw a big get-together and cook for everyone, so it's one thing every year that brings everybody together.
I want my dog to be less fat and stupid for Christmas.
Hey, Madeline, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, but thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you're part of the SGA program, so tell me about that a little bit.
So I'm the vice president of SGA, and kind of what SGA does, we're the point people like for student engagement around campus. A lot of people think we have like control of everything that happens around campus, but that's not necessarily the case. So
not all the power.
We do not have all the powers. We have people that are above us. Yeah. But so basically kind of the things that we do, we just do some things around campus, and we do things for the betterment of the student body. So one thing that we did this semester, we increased the number of book stipend scholarships and the amount of book stipend scholarships that students can receive per semester. We also do a lot of sponsorships of cab events. So kind of like Fall Festival, we sponsored a photo booth, we sponsored a movie night, just kind of things like that. Just doing things around campus that are fun.
And you get to like have more student engagement too, which is awesome, and really promote more of that.
Yep.
That's amazing.
We also do stop-bys every other Tuesday, so we'll be set up in the second floor of SRB, or we're in the carpeted dining hall in the Wood Center. So we kind of just talk about like the proposals that we're working on, like all that kind of stuff. We get to talk to the student body, we get to hear their concerns, all that kind of stuff.
That's wonderful. So I just heard that you guys did your, what is it, the Christmas for the Kids benefit. So tell me about that, how that went and everything.
So I was the chair for the Christmas for the Kids committee this holiday. So it's kind of like an angel tree or Salvation Army, where we had ornaments set up on our tree in the Student Services Center. So total between all 4 Volstate campuses, we had about 62 kids, but Gallatin had 35. So it's amazing to say all 35 of those ornaments were taken off of the tree, and they got sponsored. So all 35 of those ornaments are a child of a student on campus, which is really cool because we get to give back to people that are really close in our community. So the staff was given the opportunity to, you know,
to help out and be a part of that. That's amazing. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. That's all we have for you today, but one last question before we go. It's our question of the year. Do you prefer Apple Music or Spotify?
Spotify. I actually just switched from Apple to Spotify recently.
You've been converted completely.
Yes, I have.
Well, thank you for all your insight, Madeline.
Thank you.
Are you graduating this semester? Be sure to pick up your regalia at the bookstore.
Come watch us hoop December 6th, Saturday at 2.
Financial aid book charging runs from January 14th to the 22nd. You'll be notified if you're eligible.
Finals week is coming. Be sure to grab your blue book at the bookstore.
Spring fees are due January 13th. Be sure that your financial aid information is up to date. You do not want to be dropped from classes.
And one last thing. Y'all, good luck with final exams and have a very Merry Christmas. Well, that's all we got for you for this week for 5. 5 segments in 5 minutes. We'll be on winter break, so this is the last episode of the year. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. I'm Jessica Meyer. Have a happy holidays, and we'll see you in 2026.
Our students are the future leaders of businesses in this area. We live in a fast-growing area. We are seeing large tech companies move in.
When a student comes to Volstate, they can leave here with knowledge that applies to all aspects of business.
We have a management concentration. We have marketing concentrations. Within that, you have a sales focus. We have an entrepreneur focus within that for someone who wants to look at starting their own business. We also have a focus in accounting and in finance.
We have our Associate of Applied Science degrees, which are logistics, accounting, management, and marketing. And then we have the Associate of Science, our transfer degree programs.
Our goal is to figure out a student's path in front of them, whether that is to transition to a four-year university or to align to a career, and for us to prepare them in order to be able to be successful in the path they choose.
I took business management because I want to have my own business one day.
I started updating my resume. In a lot of places, even as entry level, really needed a degree. So I just really knew that it was time for me to take that step and enroll in Volstate.
I feel like for what I want to do for my own future, I do need the background and I need the understanding.
At Volstate, we offer end-to-end supply chain courses.
Companies like Amazon, their system and their perfection with this system is built upon efficiency.
A lot of a business function is dependent upon getting a product on time so that they can do the business they need to do.
Going into the future, our students need to understand these processes, so we give them that practical knowledge in the classroom. Students here at Volstate are able to leave here with that knowledge.
Volstate CIT programs prepare students to earn industry standard certifications within the IT industry.
I'm in the introduction to networking.
They make it real simple to just take your classes and go. It's all right there laid out for you.
Volstate is training me to help combat cybercrimes in the future.
We're training them for those type of jobs that are out there.
We're seeing changes in how businesses function, how there's a shift in the skills needed in the workforce. When I ask about the future is now, and our students need to be ready to enter that future, prepared with the skills that are necessary in order for them to survive and to thrive.
I think that the moment I finish my classes, I'll be ready to go into a company and work my way up through it.
Volstate is giving me real-world experiences.
Volstate is preparing me for my future.
I choose Volstate because the future needs me now.
Take the step. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Take the step, the one you've always wanted to a better you and a brighter future. Choose a path to create, innovate, or educate. A path to your career. One that builds you as a person, or one where you build for the people of the future. Choose a path to save lives or check eyes, to study the human body, soul, and mind, to fight crime both in person or online, to code the market, or be an entertainment rock star. Take the step to your full potential, to everything you've dreamed of. Take the step here, there, and eventually everywhere. With the pros of the profession, the Grammy winners, the commercial producers, the engineers, the doctors. Life is full of steps, so why not make yours count? This is us. This is Volstate.
Welcome to the Volstate Nursing Lab. The simulation lab allows students to come in a safe environment and practice real-world patient care without worrying about harming patients. We have 5 high-fidelity mannequins that we use with our nursing students in our lab to simulate real-world scenarios that they're going to see once they're out in the hospitals working. We have an adult mannequin, as you see here. She simulates everything from a normal patient to wounds, to trachs, IVs, you can give her medications. We have pediatric mannequins, we have a mom mannequin. We also have other models where students can start IVs, they can put tubes and drains in, they can remove tubes and drains, do wound care. Also, if we lose clinical placement, then students can still simulate those real-world experiences in the lab to get the same experience and be prepared when they graduate and enter the workforce as a nurse.
The volunteer state has always been home to pioneers. Dreamers and hard workers blaze their paths here. From the TVA to Mountain Dew to touchscreen monitors to the Grand Ole Opry, Tennessee has been home to innovators, creators, and entertainers. From humble beginnings to changing the world, Tennesseans have pushed the boundaries of what is possible. We pioneer healthcare, infrastructure, engineering, and product development. At Volunteer State College, we've developed our degree certifications to carry the torch of Tennessee's success with flexible options to help you blaze your pathway. We are searching for pioneer-minded students who are on their own journey of growth. Learn how these pathways are shaping the future of Tennessee. Like those that have come before, blaze your pathway. Your career awaits. Volstate. A degree in criminal justice can help you find the exciting career that you've been looking for. As a member of law enforcement, as a crime scene investigator, a teacher in a classroom, a detective working on cases, a lawyer or judge, or nearly any job where you get to put the bad guys away. Learn more at volstate.edu.
I took business management because I want to have my own business one day.
It was time for me to take that step and enroll in Volstate.
When a student comes to Volstate, they can leave here with knowledge that applies to all aspects of business.
Network. We are here inside the Pickle Field House, inside in the Richard Moore Gymnasium on campus of the Volstate Community College Pioneers in Gallatin, Tennessee, as they lead Cleveland State Cougars 30-24 as we get ready to kick off this second half. Maxwell Moore had 12 in that first half to lead the Pioneers. And for your Cougars, it was Ryan Neal who led the way with 5. So we get ready to kick off this second half. Jamal Nero catches the inbound from Cannon Hale, gets it to Groves, gives it to Moore at the top of the key. Cannon Hale inside of Taylor Groves. Fadeaway off the front of the rim. Groves, his shot is just picked off the glass by Maxwell Moore, and Max Moore puts it back for 2. Cannon Hale's got Xavier Washington. Lanier drives into King. Tries to find Zachary Kennedy on the cutting baseline, and that pass just goes out of bounds. Cannon Hale comes and gets it. Gets it across the half court to Jamal Nero. Hands it off to Taylor Groves. Groves working on it. Washington has it picked. 10 to go on the shot clock. Johnny Lynn trying to conduct this offense. Groves drives, hangs, can't finish. Brendan Lanier with the offensive rebound. Ryan Neal up ahead to A.J. Horton, who drives, hangs, and finishes. A.J. Horton. Preston King inbounds to Jamal Nero. Gets it to King. Swing it over to Groves. Gets it to Moore. Over to Jamal Nero. Nero drives. Almost lost his dribble there. Finds the cutting Moore. His layup is no good. Preston King was maybe trying to grab that offensive rebound, but it comes away with A.J. Horton. Zachary Kennedy swings over to Xavier Washington. Gets it to Ryan Neal. Neal over to Washington. He drives, and his layup is good. Groves will be bringing it up the court. A.J. Horton will meet him at half. He gets it over to King, who gives it over to Jamal Nero, over to Maxwell Moore, back to Groves. Screen. Groves gets it to Hale. Inside to Moore. Moore all the way across the court to Nero for three. Just rims out. Couple tough breaks here for the Pioneers on some of these three-point balls. They just will not go in. Horton back to Zachariah Candidate, to Neal in the corner, drives to Lanier. That'll go on Jamal Nero. That is his first foul. As Lanier will go to the line. Brandon Lanier, he's a freshman who averages 8.5 points per game. As he gets ready for his first. Makes his first one. Njai checks in for Preston King. Lanier gets ready for his second. He goes 2 for 2 from the line. Brandon Lanier averages 8.1 rebounds a game, along with his 8.5 points. Perez Nichols checks in for the Cougars. Hale gets it to Njai. Finds the cutting Groves. Leads him right into Perez Nichols. It'll stay down here with the Pioneers. Only 2 points so far here in the second half compared to Ryan Neal will pick up a foul. It'll be another inbound from Taylor Groves for the Pioneers. Groves gets it out to Moore. Back into Groves. Groves draws a quick double team. Finds Moore, but Moore cannot handle the pass. Horton bringing it up. Njai will pick up his second foul. Dylan Delk checks in. As A.J. Horton will inbound for the Cougars. 32-30. Xavier Washington, his step in mid-range won't go. Rebound from Groves. Up ahead to Hale. His layup is good. Cannon Hale. Perez Nichols gets over to Horton. And Lanier, who has it stolen away by Nero. Up ahead to Delk, to Groves, back to Delk, who's just going to lay it in off the glass. The three ball there by the Cougars. Delk at the volleyball line, gives it to Hale. Over to Njai, brings it out to the three-point line, finds the cutting Nero. Oh, what a pass from Jamal Nero. He was midair, spun, and handed off a clean pass to Delk, who lays it in. Horton, top of the key. Neal, back to Horton. His step in mid-range will rim out. Njai gets it to Groves. Groves drives, kicks to Hale for three. Cannon Hale for three. A.J. Horton drives. His layup is good. Timeout will be called for Cleveland State. Cleveland State's sophomore A.J. Horton leads the team with 15.8. And in their loss against Motlow State, Xavier Washington led them with 17, Ryan Neal with 15, A.J. Horton with 11. Xavier Washington is second, leading the team with points per game with 13.1. For your Vol State Pioneers and their win against Community Christian College, it was Cannon Hell with 17, Preston King with 15, Jamal Nero with 12, and Demarius Carroll led with 10 off the bench. As they're trying to win this game, move to 3-3 in conference play and 6-6 overall. Taylor Groves is 2 points away from having double figures in points since the November 19th game that he had here. I believe that game was against the Southwest Tennessee Community College Salukis. As both teams will break the huddle. And yes, Taylor Groves had 10 points against the Salukis on November 19th here at home, and that was the last time he was in double figures. He is 2 away from double figures tonight as he is working on Horton. Gets it into Jamal Nero. Gets it to Njai. Gets it to Hale. Hale gets it across the court to Groves. Groves working on Zachariah Kennedy. Step back. Finds Delk. Delk drives, puts up a tough shot, and one. Dylan Delk gets the friendly roll, and one for Dylan Delk. He will go to the line to try and complete the 3-point play and make this a 9-point lead. Demarius Carroll will check in for the Vol State Pioneers, and Jacob Turner will check in for Cleveland State. As Dylan Delk will go to the line. Delk cannot hit, and Lanier comes with the rebound. Turn it up ahead to Ramion Taylor. Swings over to A.J. Horton. Horton working on Carroll. He drives. Has to put up a tough shot over Njai. Won't go. Carroll bringing it up. Gets it to Groves. Over to the corner for Nero. The pass is tipped on its way, or it may have been a catch-and-shoot 3 for Jamal Nero. They give it to Groves. Groves takes a screen by Delk. Takes a screen. Deep 3. Won't go. Ramion Taylor bringing up the court. Drives on Nero. Over to Turner, who drives. And his layup is good. Groves bringing it up the floor. Groves. Gets the screen by Njai. Back down to Njai. He draws the foul. He will go to the line for 2. Zachariah Kane will pick up his first foul. Njai, he's a freshman who averages 1.2 points per game, but most of his impact comes on the defense side of the ball as he makes defenders change directions and take difficult shots. Perez Nichols and Kendrick Franklin will both check in, along with Ryan Neal. Njai makes his second, and Maxwell Moore will check in, their leading scorer from the first half. Max is well above his averages. He averages 5.1. He has 14 this game already, and we still have a lot of ball left to play. Romeo Taylor working on Jamal Nero. He drives, kicks to Ryan Neal for three. It's good. Groves bringing it up the court. Gets it to Moore, over to Nero. Gets it to Delk. Gives it over to Groves. Groves has it knocked away from him, but it'll go out of bounds and stay with the Pioneers. Demarius Carroll will inbound the ball. Get it over to Dylan Delk. And he's looks for Jamal Nero, but it just slips right through his hands. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Cougar ball. Franklin inbounds that ball to Taylor. Yes, Nero working on him in the backcourt. Passes over to Turner. They get it back to try and reset to Taylor. Taylor hands it off to Franklin. He spins. Tough shot. It's good. Groves bringing up the court, gets a screen from Delk. Groves over to Delk. Nero for three. It's blocked. Turner up ahead. Turner's layup is good. Timeout from Volstate. 11:59 here to play as we are tied up at 44. The Cougars have already scored 20 here in the second half to Volstate's 14. As they're making things difficult for the Pioneers. Johnny Lynn get his squad back to the same form they were in the first half, as the Cougars are maybe trying to take this game over. Volstate is known for giving up games here in the second half, and we hope that's not the case today. They had a 6-point lead at halftime. Timeout is now over, and as the Cougars will break the huddle, and Dylan Delk will inbound. They're already bringing pressure to Taylor Groves in the backcourt, double teaming him. Ryan Neal picks up his second foul. As now Delk will inbound. Gets it to Slaughter, who's working on Neal. He loses the ball. Has it knocked away. Neal over to Turner, whose layup is good. Taylor Groves trying to command this offense. Groves gets it to Moore. Moore over to Slaughter. Back over to Hale. Down into Groves in the post. Backing his man down. Tough fadeaway is good. Taylor Groves has 10. That's his first time since November 19th being in double figures in points. Ryan Taylor bringing it up. Franklin swings it over to Neal. They get it back to Taylor. Franklin with the screen. Over to down in, but it's stolen by Groves. He picked the ball away from Nichols. Foul is called. Taylor Groves will be assessed with his third foul. Jamal Nero checks in. inbound. Taylor will inbound the ball to Jacob Turner. Taylor over to Kendrick Franklin to Ryan Neal. Into Perez Nichols, who's working on Groves. He has it picked away from Slaughter. Nero on the breakaway. Slams it home. Jamal Nero with the slam. Franklin. Step back. He won't go. Rebound Turner. Gets it over to Neal. Over to Taylor. His three won't go. Nichols cannot corral the rebound. Volstate over to Hale. Back to Nero. Gives it to Moore. Dishes it over to Slaughter. Slaughter. Marion Taylor's going to pick up a foul. That is his first. A.J. Horton and Zachariah Candidate will both check in, but then a timeout will be called. Looks like by Coach Johnny Lynn. After this game on Saturday, January 3rd, both women and men's will both be in action against Calhoun. And then their next conference game is Wednesday, January 7th against Jackson State. They will travel to Pellissippi on Saturday, January 10th for another conference game. Pioneers are 2-3 in conference play as we start to head towards the new year. As the timeout is now over, and Cannon Hale will inbound. And the Moore, he can't hit, but Taylor Groves with the putback as A.J. Horton brings it up. Gets it over to Jacob Turner, who downloaded Perez Nichols. Nichols goes up on Groves, can't finish, gets his own rebound, and foul is called. Auden Slaughter will be charged with the foul, and that'll send Perez Nichols to the line. Nichols is a freshman who averages 4.4 points per game. Demarius Carroll checks in for your Pioneers. Xavier Washington checks in for the Cougars. Zachariah Candidate grabbed the board and then drew the foul against Maxwell Moore. That is Moore's second. His first one is no good. Njai checks back in as Zachariah Kennedy gets ready for his second free throw. He makes the second one. Jamal Nero bringing it up for the Pioneers. Jamal Nero working on Horton. Drives. Can't finish. Lands on the ball. Jump ball will be called, and the arrows in the possession of Cleveland State as Vol State holds a 3-point lead here to go 9 minutes and 12 seconds left to play. 50-47. A.J. Horton brings it up. Looks like double foul there under the basket as Perez Nichols picks up his first and Eddie Njai picks up his third. Preston King checks in. Xavier Washington for three. Will get the friendly roll. Washington ties this game up at 50 apiece. Get it over to Hale. Hale gets it to King at the top of the key. Over to Nero. They get it to Groves. Groves has it stripped away by Turner. Gives it over to Horton. Back over to the corner for Zachary Candidate. Back to Horton. Over to Turner. He gets it into Perez Nichols. Jump ball will be called. And arrow is pointed towards Volstate. Volstate is 6th in conference play, right behind Motlow State, who is 3-3. So if they were to win tonight, they would get the head-to-head over Motlow State. As they bring up the court, Carroll down, tries to throw it down into King. It's just thrown away. Ryan Neal checks in. And Keneal Velez checks in for the Pioneers as Horton brings it up. Gets it over to Franklin, just passing it back and forth. They get it to Neal, who drives, and his layup is good. Jamal Nero pushing it up the court. Back behind the pass. Groves for three. Short. A.J. Horton will bring it up for the Cougars as they have a lead. Horton catches at the top of the key. Franklin. Horton drives. His layup is no good. His putback won't be good. To Neal, whose shot is good. 4-point lead. Nero drives. Lost it. Raphael Howard a bit frustrated. Going to be Ryan Neal's third foul. Jamal Nero will go to the line. Misses his first one. Zachary Candidate and checks in. Auden Slaughter and Max Moore check in for your Pioneers. As Jamal Nero gets ready for his second. He buries it. A.J. Horton brings it up, 3-point lead. Horton gets it over to Zachary Candidate. They get it to Neal. Back to Horton. Horton working on Groves. Gets it over to Washington for three. It's good. Xavier Washington for three. He has turned it up here in the second half. Volstate's letting this game get away from him. King looked at the basket. Gives it to Nero. Nero drives down to Moore, who was blocked from behind. It looks like a A.J. Horton draws a technical foul there. Jamal Nero will go back to the line. He makes that first one. Cannon Hale checks in. He makes his second one. I believe possession will go back to Volstate. As Jamal Nero will inbound. Xavier Washington picks up his second foul. Cleveland State's going to call a timeout, try and regroup here after a technical foul was assessed to A.J. Horton and then an off-ball foul on Xavier Washington. 57-53. They were down 6, and now they lead by 4. Johnny Lynn trying to will his team to maybe to come back. They let this game get away from them. The coach trying to figure out a bit something. Taylor Groves has 12 points along with Maxwell Moore's 14. Cannon Hale has 8. Dylan Delk with 6. Jamal Nero has 8 as well. For the Cougars, it has been Ryan Neal who has 7, along with Xavier Washington who has 8. As Vol State breaks the huddle. Head coach Caleb Coleman having a conversation with the ref at midcourt, probably discussing the technical foul on A.J. Horton. And now Cannon Hale will go to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. He buries the first one. He doesn't miss much from there. This will cut it to a 2-point lead, and he makes it. A.J. Horton bringing it up. It's over to Ryan Neal. Back to Horton. Gets it to Horton. Brings it back over to Neal. Almost swung it to Washington in the corner. Gets it to Kennedy. Drives, loses it into the hands of Zachary Kennedy. Back out to Washington. His step in mid-range. Won't go. Rebound. Cougars, they go back up with it. Foul and 1 for Zachary Kennedy. That is Auden Slaughter's 3rd foul. Zachary Kennedy, who averages 6.9 points as a freshman. He can't convert on the 3-point play, so still a 4-point lead. Hale gets it to Moore. Gets it back to Nero. Gets it to King. Swings over to Hale. 10 to shoot. Hale drives down to Moore. Moore draws the foul. Makes his first. Cut this to a 2-point lead as Taylor Groves checks back into the game. Maxwell Moore gets ready for his second. He makes it. Ryan Neal. He's going to bring this up the court. Him and Xavier Washington passing it back and forth. Get it to Kendrick Franklin, who almost swings it over to Washington. Swings it down to Brandon Lanier, but is fouled by Moore, and he will go to the line for a 1-and-1. That is Maxwell Moore's third. Lanier averages 8.5, and he can't hit. As King will inbound. He gets it to Nero. Nero up ahead to Groves in the corner for three. Boom! Taylor Groves from three. Now a 1-point lead for the Pioneers. Franklin working on more, gets it to Washington. Drives on Slaughter, step backs, gets it up to Turner. Turner gets it to Franklin, who draws it back out. He drives, hangs, can't finish, rebound King. King looking for somebody to throw the ball to. They get up to Nero past half court. Nero tries to get it to the cutting King. Completely misses him. Turner finds the cutting Lanier. Cannon Hale checks in for Jamal Nero. As Ryan Neal will inbound. Gets it into Lanier. Down to Franklin. His little 3-foot shot is good. Get it to Slaughter. Taylor Groves bringing it up. Gets it to Slaughter. Gets it to Preston King. Gets it to Hale. Get it to Groves. 10 on the shot clock. Groves lost it, gets it back. He calls a timeout to try and save the jump ball. They'll have a 30-second timeout. They'll have 6 to shoot on the shot clock. Johnny Lynn going to try and drop a play to maybe get his superstar the ball, maybe get a shot. Taylor Groves is now up to 15 across this game. But the Cougars have just come back, and that's on the back of Ryan Neal, Xavier Washington, and Jacob Turner, as they will come out of the timeout. And Groves will inbound. Get it to Moore. Moore's pass is batted. Be a shot clock violation on the Pioneers. Groves had to throw one up from behind, way half court. Eddie Injai will check in for Moore. It'll be Cougar ball. Injai has 3 fouls. Horton is going to take it to the top of the key and give it to Turner. They get it to Lanier. It's like a foul is going to be called on Injai. That's his 4th foul as he just checked back into the game. Franklin will head to the line. He averages 7.3 points per game. Njai fouls out of this game after big confusion there for some, as Johnny Lynn tries to get an explanation from the refs. And Maxwell Moore will check in. So now it's going to go from Kendrick Franklin to Brandon Lanier to the line. He'll have 2 shots. He's going to get 2 as they have now in the double bonus. So he makes the first. Dylan Delk's going to check in for Preston King and the Pioneers as Lanier gets ready for his second free throw. As Coach Johnny Lynn trying to get an explanation on Eddie Njai's 5th and final foul. As sinks both at the line. They get it into Groves. He's going to inbound 3:10 left here to play. Bringing it up. Sets the screen. Finds Hale. Hale for 3. Too long. Gets it to A.J. Horton. Gets it to Kendrick Franklin over to Turner. Gets it to Ryan Neal. Gets it over to A.J. Horton. Horton drives on Moore. And they're going to say he took 1 too many steps and that he traveled. Xavier Washington checks in and Jamal Nero checks in. As Moore will inbound. 63-60, 2:28 here to play in the second half. Jamal Nero inbounds. Brings it up past half court. Gets it over to Taylor Groves. Back. Johnny Lynn's going to be forced to call a timeout to try and draw up something for his team as they trail by 3 here with 2:13 left to play in the game. If I'm Johnny Lynn, I want the ball in the hands of either Cannon Hale or Taylor Groves. They're the 3-point shot makers. Cannon Hale is shooting 35% from 3 on the year. He has a couple tonight. As hopefully they can get something going here to maybe get their offense rolling like it was in the first half. As Johnny Lynn and his team break that huddle, Raphael Howard breaks the huddle with his team. Cannon Hale will inbound for the Pioneers. A.J. Horton gets charged with a foul. Taylor Groves will go to the line to try and cut this to a 1-point lead if he were to go 2 for 2. Misses the first. He goes 0 for 2. Lanier is able to grab the rebound. Ryan Neal bringing it up. Approach the 2-minute mark here in the second half. Up by 3. Gets it to Xavier Washington. Trying to conduct traffic, gets it to Neal. Drives, his floater won't go. Maxwell Moore with the rebound, gets it ahead to Nero. Nero gets it over to Groves. Groves drives, hangs and finishes. Taylor Groves has turned it on here in the second half. Lead is cut to 1, 1:20 here to play. Raphael Howard's forced to call a timeout as Taylor Groves hit the bucket to cut this to 1. 1:15 here to play. This game is coming down to the wire. Taylor Groves is up to 17. Along with Max Moore's 16. They're going to need big defensive stops and big shots down the stretch to maybe pull this one out. Both teams are in the double bonus, so any foul would send that player to the line for 2. On the floor for the Cougars, it is Kendrick Franklin, Jacob Turner, Brandon Lanier, and Xavier Washington. On the floor for your Pioneers, Dylan Delk, Maxwell Moore, Alden Slaughter, Jamal Nero, and Taylor Groves, as Turner will inbound to Horton. Get to Franklin. Trying to work on Delk. He spins. And he's going to go to the line. As Delk's second line, and I'll send Franklin to the line. See, misses his first. Ryan Neal checks in for Xavier Washington, and Cannon Hill checks in for the Pioneers. This will still be only a 1-possession lead, make or miss. And he misses both. Delk grabs the rebound, gets it to Groves, down 1. As we play under a minute here, Groves drives, blocked. It's going to stay with the Pioneers. 51.5 seconds left to play. Full timeout here by Volstate. He's going to try and draw up an offensive scheme for his squad. And Raphael Howard is going to try and draw up a defensive scheme. Some people would have thought this game would not have been this close at halftime, with the Pioneers holding a 6-point lead in just the way they were playing, but the Cougars have stormed back, and now they hold a 1-point lead with 51.5 seconds to play. Around the conference, as we get ready to come back from this timeout. Highlands College 79-76, and Columbia State Community College knocks off Roane State Community College 76-61. The Cougars hold a 1-point lead here over the Pioneers. as Cannon Hill will inbound. Gets it into Dale. They get it to Groves. Groves lost his dribble, is able to get it back. Groves, 3-ball, won't go. Down 1, Groves misses a big bucket there. They're not fouling here. Hale, as Neal has it out the volleyball line. Moore gets it over to Turner. Turner's mid-range. Won't go. Delk. 2, 1. Johnny Lynn trying to get the clock back to where it was for his team. .2 seconds left on the clock. Volstate needs a bucket to win. This game has come down to the wire. Does Volstate have some magic left in the air? Or is it just too much and Cleveland State will walk away with some people would call an upset win? The ball will be bounded with 3.2 seconds left by none other than Taylor Groves. Raphael Howard having a conversation with a ref. About where the ball's going to be inbounded from. Now they're even further away from the basket. 3.2 seconds left. Groves trying to find somebody. Groves just moves the clipboard. Doesn't like it being there. Groves finds Hale. Hale for the win. And now will be ball game. Thought Kenneth Hale may have been fouled there at the buzzer. 63-62. The Cougars walk away with a win over the Volstate Pioneers in a dramatic second half here on the Volstate Sports Network.